Hi, and welcome to episode 84 of M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast. I'm Jamie, your host behind the show. This knitting and spinning and yarn dyeing and crafty themed vlog channel. And I'm the yarn dyer behind m1yarns.com. And boy, am I rusty recording today. It has been about a month since I last recorded. And a few of my friends were like, Jamie, is everything okay? You haven't recorded in a while and you're usually like every few weeks, pretty regular. And I just said, I haven't had anything to talk about. So I don't want to waste your time with talking about nothing, but today I have some stuff to talk about. So I've been busy with my first two fiber festivals of the season where I've vended at. They were Spring Makers Fest in Charlotte, Michigan, just outside of Lansing. And then Tip of the Mitt Fiber Festival in Petoskey, Michigan, which is absolutely beautiful. And if you don't live in Michigan and you're thinking of planning next year's summer vacay, highly recommend the Petoskey, Charlevoix, Traverse City area in lower Michigan. So Michigan's made of two peninsulas, kind of like this, maybe. I can never do it on camera because everything's backwards and it's very confusing. Anyway, if this is the lower peninsula, it's down here. Anyway, so I just got back from Tip of the Mitt Fiber Festival yesterday, so I'm a little tired. Not having the best hair day, but we're here. It is really hot out. And I thought if I'm going to podcast, I've got to wear as little as possible, not for any sort of innuendos or your viewing pleasure, but because I'm really hot. So what I'm wearing today is somewhat of an oldie but a goodie. This is the Asteria Tank by Maven Crafted. And I'm just grabbing my iPad right now. I knit this in July of 2021. So it's been a few years. So I thought I would break it out and see if I still liked it. It's a little bit, my gauge was a little off, but I didn't mind it being kind of loosey-goosey. So I'm wearing it with like a, one of those lacy bralettes that's like almost meant to be seen. So if my mom's watching, no, I'm not trying to show off my underwear. It's just, you kind of got to go with it. Now Daisy, my dog, is crying because I just realized I forgot to feed her dinner. Daisy, 20 minutes, okay? Good girl. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I have a finished object, I have new cast-ons, and then I have lots of plans to talk about. So grab your project and something to drink, and let's dive in. So the my most recent knit along that is facilitated via this podcast was the Back to Basics knit along. It just ended June 1st, and it was all about just knitting a basic sweater or crocheting. Well, so I cast on for the knit along the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May Designs. And this is my finished sweater. It's yet to be blocked. No finished object photos yet. And I finished it like just a few days ago, just under the radar. So I've got to, this week, hopefully, get my act together and pull a name for a prize winner. And I will notify that person directly whether they posted a photo on Instagram or in the Ravelry form. But I do want to thank all of you who participated. It's always such a joy hosting knit-alongs on this channel so that we can kind of create a sense of community, all by like knitting kind of on a theme, if you will. So since I finished knitting this, of course, I had to cast on a couple new cast-ons. And while I was away at the Fiber Festival, which I went on this weekend trip with 3 good friends, and it was just delightful. We had such a good time laughing and crying and hugging and just everything that you expect to do with your friends. Anyway, so during that trip, I cast on 2 new projects, and I had put in my, Instagram stories a vote. What should I cast on next? And the results were pretty close, so I just cast on both, as you do. And I'll show you the first one of 2. I haven't made it very far. This is going to be the Alpine Bloom tee by Caitlin Hunter. So the contrast color is this, which is my own hand spun. And then the main color is this, which is Happy Place by Hobie. And it's a collaboration with Tony of TL Yarn Crafts. So together, I think they make a really cool combo. So that's the Alpine Bloom. And then I also cast on, gosh, this basket is just such a hot, boiling, tangled mess of project. You'll have to forgive me for this really unprofessional episode. I cast on, I'll just show you the beginning. And it's these 2 yarns, which also happen to be Happy Place by Hobie. This is going to be the Sailor Swift by, hold that thought, by Kutova Kika, who is Knit with Kika. Wait a minute. Veronica Lindberg. So I guess her name is Veronica Lindberg, and her brand name is Kutova Kika. Okay. So now that I'm back from the Fiber Festival, and I have over a month until my next one, which if you're in Michigan or in Ohio-ish, will be the, what the heck is it called? God, my brain is like, it's the Wine and Wool at the Sandhill Crane Winery, which is a great one-day fiber festival. Highly recommend. And it's in Jackson, Michigan. So anyway, I have weeks before that, so I have lots of knitting time ahead. So I plan to make some serious progress on those 2 tees over the next month. I am dying to get back to spinning. Being at fiber festivals is really invigorating, as you might know if you've ever been to one. And now as a spinner, I love it all the more. I bought this huge bag of this beautiful, like, brownish gray fiber that is Jacob and Corydale in a natural color. And I can't remember how much this is. Oh, I think that this is 2 pounds. So this is actually a shit ton of fiber. And if you're not familiar with how to convert like pounds to like imagining yardage or skeins, your average skein of, let's say, DK yarn is 4 ounces or 100 grams and 200-ish yards, depending on. So 4 ounces, there's 16 ounces in a pound. So 4 skeins to a pound, and this is 2 pounds. So if I spun it at a DK weight, I would have 8 skeins, which is a sweater's quantity. So I think I might do this one next. I also bought last year this giant bag. Oh, it's got some paraphernalia in the bottom. I bought this from a friend of mine who is a shepherdess outside of Lansing. And this giant bag of woolly goodness is 75% merino, teeswater, and 25% mohair. I think this is going to be a little more difficult to spin because it has mohair in it, and I've heard that that's more challenging. And this is 2.5 pounds. So don't mind the magazine that's on the bottom. Anyway, I just imagine now that summer's here, I just want to sit on my back deck, have like a little show going on my iPad, and have my electric spinning wheel sitting in front of me and just spin for hours on end while wearing sunscreen. So I'm really excited about that. What I'm not excited about, and this is totally keeping it real, I've been knitting, if you've been watching, since January. So basically, if you watch like the last 4 or 5 episodes, I've been knitting a temperature blanket, and it's all the daily high temperatures of Detroit in 2023, and it's 2 rows per day, and every like 10, like block of 10, so all the 70s are in Fahrenheit are one color, all the 80s are one color, and so forth. And I cast on in January, and every month by the end of the month, so like May just ended, my goal was to finish all of May of 2023's colors. So this is where we're at so far. I mean, this thing is gigantic. And so this is 5 out of the 12 months of the year. And it's getting to be such a pain to knit because it's so huge. And I'm kind of losing steam. It's taking away from my other projects, if I have to be real and honest, which I do try to keep it real here. So I put on my Instagram about a week or so ago, like, I'm really kind of struggling here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the June temperatures on this thing and then bind off. And I'm not 100% sure if I would knit the remaining 6 months, only because I have so many other things I want to knit. And do I need 2 giant lap blankets? I mean, these might make great gifts. They really might be good, like, kids blankets, even like on a twin bed. So I don't know, might become gift knitting. But if you've ever knit a temperature blanket and you can kind of sympathize, or you have any thoughts on it, seriously comment below, because I have, and I'm trying to think where all the yarn for this is. I just have so much yarn. It's ridiculous. It is kind of a shame. But anyway, that's that. So as soon as I finish my other 2 tees that I just cast on, I really want to knit a sweater pattern that I have already knit. And it's the Cowgirl Crop. And I just bought some new Cowgirl boots. And since I have these new black boots, photo inserted, I need a sweater to go with it. So let's talk yarn. I knew I wanted the black in the sweater, and I'm inserting a photo of the previous sweater I've knit before. I wanted the black in the sweater to be black, so I dyed this. And then I wanted the hat to be this. And then I wanted the little band, like the 2 horizontal bands, to be turquoise. And I wanted like a rich jewel tone turquoise to be kind of Southwest, but kind of modern. And then I wanted the back, what am I missing here? Hat, boots, band, main color. I wanted the main color to be light and neutral, but not gray, because my previous version had been gray. So I was thinking this beach sand colorway. This is fingering, these are DK. And I thought about doing the main color and fingering because I thought about holding it with my Yak Dream yarn, which if you look at it by itself, it's a very light silvery gray. So I thought if I hold that with the beach sand, it might like kind of be a fun blend. I don't know. So I'm thinking about that. I might have to swatch and decide. But I seriously needed a sweater to go with my new boots, as one does. But since these would be my proposed contrast colors, I was thinking of holding something sparkly with not the black, but these. So I had bought some embroidery floss, and I thought these together might be fun. But then I realized that there's only like 7 yards in these, so I'd have to get quite a bit of this. I'm trying to get up close. And then like this copper with this one. So after I bought these at Michael's, I rethought my plan. And today I went back to Michael's and I bought some spools of DMC Diamant. I don't know what this is technically, what you would use it for. But I bought these. And I thought for sure that's better. And then for the turquoise, maybe that, just to brighten it up even more. And then I thought, actually, for the black, it might be fun to hold this together, which has like black and gold. And that would pull up some detail in the boots. So I'll insert a photo of the boots. And if you can see on the boots, it has like little, almost like goldish coppery studs. And I thought that this would kind of be reminiscent. So again, I have to swatch and figure out what works. But that's where I'm at with like project planning, which I think the more I spend time letting things brew in my brain, the better off, because then I'm properly prepared. Some of you have asked me, whatever happened to buying a circular sock machine? And yes, I did buy one. No, I have not used it. I have owned it for 2 months. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that maybe now is not the right time in my life. I would love to crank socks all day, every day. But between knitting, spinning, and having a yarn dyeing business, it's maybe not practical. If I didn't spin, and for sure if I didn't have the yarn business, I would definitely have room on my plate for the sock machine. So I think a friend of mine might be interested in buying it off of me. Don't judge me for quitting so early. I got as far as cranking a setup bonnet, and that was it. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that I don't have time. So I don't think I have anything else to talk to you about. Oh, the one thing I do want to mention is we need to pick a new knit along, and I am just at a loss for ideas. So I want to know what you want to do for a knit along. And I would say maybe we can have a target start date of like maybe in July, maybe even end of summer. So again, I would love your feedback on that. Comment below, or feel free to send me an email. All my contact information and all the show notes are listed below. Including the patterns, the yarns, all that good stuff. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, happy knitting. Bye.